It is 60 Days In, cable's number one crime and justice series, and it's season 8 of A&E's groundbreaking series. It's back with 7 new undercover citizen volunteers going behind bars to help bring positive change to the facility. Now, today I have Sheriff Paula S. Dance. She's the first female African American sheriff in North Carolina, and she's leading the charge for change for those behind bars. Good morning, Sheriff. How are you?
Good morning. I'm wonderful. Hope you are as well.
Well, I got the chance to see the screener, so it was a little unnerving, but very interesting. Now, this is your second term, correct?
Yes, I'm in my second term.
Yeah, your second term. So, how are
Yes.
you leading change behind the charge for change behind these bars? Because, listening to seeing some of the inmates and hearing some of their grievances, but still seeing how they reacted, how does that all balance out?
Well, and we call it a reality show, but honestly, it's reality of detention facilities around the country. This is what our detention officers face every day. These are real inmates. So, it depends on how you look at reality. Um, but yes, absolutely. I'm very focused, laser focused on recidivism and addressing issues of mental health and the co-occurring substance use abuse, poverty. And so I wanted to do some things in our detention center to combat those issues. And those are the issues that causes recidivism. And so I certainly wanted to, introduce uh, programs into our detention center to focus on those issues, because what we want is we want people to not keep continuing to come to jail. As we know, most people who come to our detention center or any detention center are usually frequent flyers. They're the ones that come back and forth all the time. And so I wanted to address that through counseling for those that are involved in substance use abuse, through peer-to-peer support, through bringing in the GED program so that when people leave, they now have their GED and they can go get, jobs. We do reentry. And just really all we did was utilize the resources that were within our own community that were there, that were untapped into. And I absolutely aim to tap into those and continue to tap into those resources because it's a community effort. It should be a collaborative effort. I tap into those resources, bring those resources into our detention center for the purpose it should be used for. Put these tools in the toolbox of inmates as they leave. Now it's up to them to use them, but I aim to make sure that they have those tools so that they're not continuing to come back into the detention facility.
Now, Sheriff Dance, can you tell us any of your success stories?
Yeah, so it's really been very eye-opening in how much these programs were needed. I recall getting on the flight going to New York. I get to the counter, and there's a guy behind the ticket agent behind the counter, and he's looking at me, and I'm thinking, okay, well, he knows I'm the sheriff. I'm the only one in the state that looks like me. But he said to me, "You don't recognize me, do you?" And I said, "Well, no, not really. I see a lot of people." And he was one of my participants in the SHARP program. And here he was out in the community as a ticket agent at the airport. That really, really showed me how these programs can truly make a difference.
Now, on the flip side, what about some of the failures? And the question is, why the failure?
Well, you know what? We're not going to, this is not going to be 100% success rate for it. There's nothing that's ever 100% success rate. And so we know and recognize that it's not going to work for everyone. It may not work the first time. It might not work the second time. Maybe it'll work the third time. Who knows? But we cannot throw people away. And the most important thing is that we can't give up, because one way or the other, they're either going to be back in the detention center, or they're going to be out in the public or in the community. Again, it's up to them on which side of the bars that they want to be on. But I want to make sure that they have that choice through having the tools to help them along the way.
Sheriff Dance, what do you think creates these individuals?
Could you repeat that, please?
What do you think creates these individuals to be who they are, to be behind bars?
Oh, absolutely. Environment has a big portion of everybody wasn't born on third base. Um,
Hmm.
so I absolutely know and believe, and I will encourage you to watch the show or to watch the seasons coming up. I think it answers itself as 60 Days In engages with inmates, people who are incarcerated in detention center, and I'll let them tell their story.
You know, and I saw a couple of stories there. Yeah, that was very interesting. Like I said, when I opened up with you, I said it was a little unnerving watching that, but I got a chance to see the whole thing. And you're right. People need to watch this and see this because guess what? You're doing your job on the inside. We need to do our job on the outside. Definitely.
That's absolutely
Yeah,
correct.
you're been talking with Sheriff Paula S. Dance. Thank you so much for joining us on Morning Blend. I really appreciate your time today.
Thank you for having me.